Hello and welcome back to the G Spot. We are doing a reading today that will be an interpretation which is timeless regarding specific information, symbols, or signs you may have received during a dream state. Our focus today will be on deceased loved ones coming to us in our dreams. So what we'll do is we'll give you an overall meaning of what that means in your dream state. We'll pull two cards for clarity, and then we'll pull an animal spirit guide to kind of give us a overall picture of why this person visited you. Again, these are timeless, so whenever you have that dream, come on back here for that interpretation. We're just clearing the air with some Palo Santo. Getting the energy right, my dear people. Thanks for coming back. Check out our other videos as well. Again, these are timeless, so take it as you will. So if a deceased loved one has come to visit you in your dream, that is typically called a visitation dream. Sometimes you can hear or smell this person. Even in the hearing state, I've actually experienced this. There is some telepathy going on, so telepathically you can converse with the individual. However, there isn't like a verbal communication taking place, but it's very much understood. It's some kind of consciousness connection. It will be very realistic, and that's why you'll probably be disappointed when you wake up. But if you are dreaming about your deceased one, it'll help you understand a little bit better some of the things that are most important for you to know, and that your deceased loved one is trying to communicate with you through your dreams. They may be trying to tell you something really important, and that's why you should never ignore a dream about a deceased loved one. There is a belief that our deceased loved ones are trying to communicate with us in many different ways, and dreams are, again, just one of them. They want to remind you that you're not alone. This person will always be with you, even if he or she is passed on. You should never forget that, and you should never feel lonely. Most important is to not have fears, because your deceased loved one that has appeared in your dream, but you should be happy because you have the opportunity to see that person once more, to touch him or her, and to hear that person's voice and what they want to tell you. It is also believed that a message from your deceased loved one in a dream state could be very important for your life in general. If you've dreamed about your deceased loved one, you should pay special attention to that. They usually appear at moments when you are going through a difficult period in your life. They will come to you when you need support, and also at moments when you're feeling lost and confused. If you've seen a person in your dream that you've loved in this life, that person will certainly be your guide and help you solve many things in your waking life. So that is definitely something to consider when, depending on who comes to you in your dream state. That person essentially is your guide and your angel. Let's see what else we have here. Again, they could be your spirit guide. If you've chosen the wrong path in your life, they will help you kind of turn back or make the right decision or get on the right track. Again, you'll never be alone. They're always with you. Sometimes they just want to simply tell you that life after death exists and that you should believe in it. Your spirit and your soul will exist even after you die, which should make you happy and eliminate some of the fears that you may have in this life form. In some cases, you may not know for certain if they're there, but you have this feeling that they were there, a sensation after you wake up, that someone was watching you in your dream, or you may have a feeling that someone was there with you. But again, you shouldn't be afraid. Your loved one is only telling you that you are not alone because they are watching over you and protecting you and making sure you're safe. If they appear to be in a different type of form, unusual form, this could be a warning from them just to be careful in your next period, that there could be some danger up ahead or a situation that could be conflictual that can arise. Um, it also talks about to wake up after a dream state, to wake up with peace and completely feel rested. It could mean that your deceased loved one visited you because they're worried about your health. A lot of times, if you see a deceased loved one, it just really means that you miss that person. And in a lot of cases, they miss you as well. You should also use that opportunity to embrace them. They don't visit often. If you've dreamed of a deceased loved one talking to you, it can mean that your loved one didn't have an opportunity to tell you something when he or she was alive. It can also mean that you will receive useful advice from your loved one, and that she or he may have instructions that could be important or improve your future. If you've dreamt of arguing with your deceased loved one, this dream could be a warning for you to change something about your behavior. Also, if a deceased loved one visits you, it just really means that you should feel safe and comforted. All right, so let's pull some cards for this energy. Spirit, tell us what we need to know about our deceased loved one coming in our dream state. Tell us what we need to know about the collective consciousness of our astral travel, Spirit. All right, sorry. Let's see. All right. Yeah, the High Priestess. Right, very spiritual. So there's a spiritual connection, and then you get the Nine of Pentacles with the Mummy, right? So there is life after death. Essentially, the most important thing that this loved one wanted you to know is that they are with you spiritually, right? So without the physical form, but in the spirit realm or consciousness realm, right? Watching down over you. If you can see closely, she has the world in her hands, and she's just looking down at all these other little things going on. So family that that loved one can look over, and mummified. So yeah, it is an ancient Egyptian practice, but we know that they believed in the afterlife in a different way. So this is just really confirming for me that there is afterlife with the Nine of Pentacles and the High Priestess. All right, so let's see what the spirit animal guides will tell us about this loved one that visits during our rest state. Tell us about our loved one. Okay. So we had a few cards that were trying to jump out, but this mouse card did in particular. So give me a moment as we figure out what this card means for us. The mouse in the mouse state. Let's see what Spirit wants us to know about our deceased loved one in this state. I told you all, it takes forever to find the things in the book. We're doing the Animal Spirit Guide book, so there you have it. So as it relates to our deceased loved one, we get the mouse card. Detail-oriented, small-minded, nitpicky, nervous. So if your loved one has visited you recently, this is what you should know. Um, the mouse has an innate desire to tend to the details. It often spends its days fixing, preparing, organizing, and scrutinizing. Unfortunately, a mouse personality doesn't notice when they've gone too far. Soon they begin to have a limited and fearful vision of life and try to control every detail. This can be quite a painful experience for both the mouse and those around them. When mouse energy is at play, step back for a moment. It may be time to find a more purposeful project to delve into, one that's worthy of your exacting eye. When in balance, organized, resourceful, prepared. When out of balance, busy with no purpose. To bring into balance a meaningful project. So for me, this just really speaks to the deceased loved one. Again, clarifying and verifying that there is life after death, but to look at the life that you're in now, to create purpose for it, to not just be, scurrying like a mouse around or in the rat race, if you will, but to really find a sense of purpose, find a sense of something that creates happiness for you, find a passion, and to ultimately not take that life for granted, right? So that is what we have. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you soon. Bye.